All right. Sorry. All right. So I was working on pretty much I was doing my shit. You know what I'm saying, my regular shit. I was journaling this morning, and pretty much I had to write down this quote at the end of my journaling when I was saying that let me scoot up a bit. Anyways, so as as I was journaling, right, and I ended up writing this quote, and I was like, if there's one thing I do know for certain, is that there's uncertainty lying around every corner. Like, so pretty much when it comes down to, I guess, what I meant by that, or sometimes when I should go out and say, like, when I think that I say, like, or I think I make out these certain quotes, I know that, like, those ideas and those, like, quotes and things that I write down doesn't come from fucking bullshit nowhere. I'm sure that it, like, you know what I mean, it's like, I'm sure it's probably a quote somewhere else, like, a long while ago, but it was just, I just happened to receive it in that moment in time, let's say that. And like, so because, like, when you're journaling, you're not necessarily, like, just sitting there talking with yourself. In a sense, you're always, like, in a constant conversation with something and someone, and, like, in your head, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and obviously, like, if you don't, for whatever reason, if you don't know, like, your thoughts aren't really your thoughts in, like, your mind. So, like, so at times, like, me, like, observing it as I journal, that's essentially what you're doing. Like, when you're journaling, like, you're observing your thoughts as you're writing them down. I noticed that quote, and I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting, because, like, the thing that I've been, like, working on with myself is accepting the fact that, like, being alive and, like, being alive is in fact a paradox, because, like, for existence to exist, right? Because this is how, like, this is how the shit works pretty much. Like, for you to exist, non-existence has to also, like, be. So, like, for positive, there has to be good, for bad, that has to be bad, for for good, light for dark, you know what I mean? So existence has to be non-existent, like, for things to exist, certain things cannot exist, is pretty much what I'm saying. And therefore, like, so you as you walk, you are, at the end of the day, as a person that is trying, at the end of the day, to strive for, like, being a better person, like, being a better version of yourself and shit like that. And, like, you consistently strive for that, you know what I mean? Because, like, that's what you want, and, like, it's beautiful. Like, you're supposed to go, like, you're supposed to change, you're supposed to grow, you know what I mean? You're supposed to develop in life, right? But even though that, like, you go through those, like, things, those changes in life and shit, you inevitably, like, still, at the end of the day, like, commit a certain, like, sin, or you do certain things, like sin, or, like, you still fuck up. Like, it's human nature. Like, you're gonna fuck up. So, like, and so pretty much, like, with that being said, like, no matter how great you can have, like, one of the greatest wills ever, and, like, regardless, you're still a walking paradox. So you're gonna end up fucking up, or accidentally hurting somebody, or doing this and doing that, even though, like, at the end of the day, no matter how pure your heart is, like, you never would have intended. There's only so much that you can control as, like, an outcome of how, like, things go in life. So, like, so it begs onto the question of, like, why are we so, like, hard on ourselves to be perfect, when perfect in itself is an illusion, and also subjected to one's idea of what they deem as perfect. Because, like, I could see something like an art piece, for example, and, like, I could say it's the most beautiful, perfect thing, and then you might think it's fucking dog shit. So, and that's completely fine. Like, you're right to have your own, like, ideas. So, like, more power to you. Like my will, I do not have the will to take your own like will and power away from you when it comes to those things. So yeah, like, so pretty much what I'm saying is like, by trying to give myself more grace recently, by understanding that like, yes, like we are in itself a walking paradox. You kind of like, you get to understand a little bit more about like why certain things in life happen the way that it does, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the idea of like when you want something so bad and then you let go of it, then it actually, like, you know, when you don't care for it, then that's when you receive it. You know what I mean? It's because like you were experiencing both sides of its own, like, you know, existence, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Its own paradox. You know what I mean? So like, one day I had a conversation with low-key myself, and and like I was thinking, like, what if like the idea of like manifestation, right? Manifestation or law of assumption and like law of attraction, it's like you hold on to something and you hold on to it so close and so tight. It's like all that pressure, and you want it so badly, and you put all that pressure in, and you know, it's like eventually, you know, it's filled in and eventually it's just like, you know what I mean, it explodes, like all that pressure and all that, you know, that built up energy, like of you wanting whatever that is, all that. And then once you finally like let go of it, it like it just blows up, like it spreads, it goes everywhere. It's kind of like the Big Bang Theory, right? So it explodes, and it actually is able to like exist, actually like spread and be, and like, because you're no longer holding on to it and concealing it, so you're allowing it to like let it go, and that's when you receive it. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's when like it kind of made the most sense for me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, that like kind of makes sense. So like, cause it's not, cause it's no longer. Okay, so before that happened, before I got cut off, my phone overheated. But with that problem though, I was able to find a way better spot to hold my phone at during these videos. So, you know, problems give you gifts. This is an example of that, so I'm grateful for that. Obviously, like, I could do have like a better, there you go, whatever. You're not here to look at me, you're here to speak, whatever. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Big Bang Theory, the law of assumption, manifestation, right? So there you go. Like, I literally just manifested a wave. Like, an example, this is like really cool that like, cause it just, for example, like I just manifested in a sense, in a way, a better like position for my phone to sit at, so I can like sit here and record without my phone fucking overheating on me. So yeah, boom. I don't know what else to say. Like, that's actually really cool how that happened, how that worked out. But yeah, so just, I guess, oh, what I remember now. So it's not like saying that you can't go after something. Like, you have to go after something or like you have to like put so much work into something, and then you have to like let it go, and then like after you let it go, then that's when you receive it. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Or like you have to like give up on it, sorry, and then that's when you receive it. That's not what I'm saying. When you hold on to it, but then you also like let go of like the desires and the necessities, because like when you naturally, as like humans, you know what I mean, when we want something, we have these extra energies that like attach onto like our ambition and drive for us to get it. You know what I mean? Like, you have the hunger, you have like all these things in front of, like the material obsession and all these things that like come along with it, like in that subconsciously, like inevitably does like drives you to want those things, besides other than the point of you like wanting to do better for good, or whatever the fuck it is that you want to go do, or like want to manifest in your life, or yeah, bring into your life. Regardless, there's gonna be ulterior motives to your wants and needs, and like for you to accept that, because again, at the end of the day, you're a walking paradox. Like, you're gonna have naturally your good wants and bad ones as like your, you know, your desires. And like, when you accept the fact that like like for example, like every artist, like I feel like for artists, like musicians, everybody, like I used to like even think of it at the time, like at a certain point in my life as well, where like if you want money as an artist, that means that you're not necessarily like an actual artist, like an actual musician or an actual like grounded artist. That's just bullshit, you know what I mean? Like that's just a false limited belief. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to you don't have to starve yourself or limit yourself or think that you can't have cool things for yourself in life, regardless of how spiritual you are. And because you still can like have like money and still be a good person, you know what I mean? Like so so with that being said, that leads to working on yourself, and discovering those wants that you're like, okay, like, all right, like, okay, these are the goods, you know what I mean? These are like the goods, like to the soul. Like, this is my soul. This adds purpose to me and to my soul. This is why I'm doing it. And then this is also like, and also too, like, I'll be able to drive a Ferrari if anything. Like, I can like, if things get going. So eventually you're like in that middle, you know what I mean? Like, you're listening to both sides when you start, and because they're both feeding you exactly what you need to hear and like what you want and need to hear. And so eventually you hit like a crossroad where you have to make the decision of like, okay, am I really doing this for the material possession and like holding on to that, or am I actually doing this because it's something deeper? Like, if I lose everything materially like today, will I still be wanting to strive forward and like still want to do this very thing? And like, so you develop yourself over time, asking and pondering those questions, and that takes time. Like, you don't want to rush that process, because that inevitably leads you to your purpose. In a sense, that leads you to like what you actually want to do, and like you start to uncover. And the more that you uncover, right, the more you uncover like your true deepest desires, and the desires that are being whispered to you over being yelled to you, and like being like the ones that are being patient, those desires, you know what I mean? Those are the steps. That's the golden brick road that will lead you to like where you want to be and like who you actually are. And like, you start seeing how you see life and how beautiful it can be, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I really truly feel like the whole meaning of like letting go to receive is literally just you're consistently letting go of the false beliefs and false like desires and false concepts, so you can add lightness to your being, to your process, to your journey of whatever it is that you're doing. So then you are able to enjoy life more, you know what I mean? Like, let's just be honest, between me and you, like, we could talk, like, going after your dreams or whatever your purpose is not fucking easy. You know, like, it's not. And like, no matter what anyone will tell you, it's not. It's gonna be heavy, it's gonna be baggy, you're gonna have like a lot of people that's not gonna understand, and then you're gonna have some people that you thought that were gonna understand, and like, there's gonna be so many ups and downs and left and rights and backs, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be so much to the journey, but like, at the end of the day, it is your journey, and like, it's still gonna be like a personal one, that like, it is your mountain, right? The mountain is you type shit. And like, so it's really how you make it, you know what I mean? Like, you can find beauty or despair in it. And it's there at the same, like, it's both there. So like, you can look at it however you want to look at it, to be honest. So but yeah, I don't know, I guess that's what I feel very compelled to speak about right now. Yeah, I hope you have a good day. I hope you got something. I know I got something like out of this conversation, and that's the coolest thing. That's like one of the coolest thing about these. I love doing this because I learn a lot, just being here. So hopefully I'm able to help others learn as well. So yeah, what I did learn though is that these videos take forever to load. Like, to upload it like on my phone to YouTube and shit. But no worries. It's complete worth. So but yeah, I hope you take care of yourself. I hope you don't let the little like bullshits in life ruin your day. I recently just told a good coworker with a colleague, and I was just like, you know, it's not a bad day, it's just bad 8 hours. You know what I mean? So like yeah, so hold on to that, hold on that little hope, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Ciao.